Hello, and welcome to my channel. Today we will be visiting and reviewing Twycross Zoo, in Leicestershire. Twycross is a medium to large zoo, approximately 10 miles to the north of Tamworth, located on the A444, on the Leicestershire-Warwickshire border. I was quite looking forward to our visit, since I had not been here since 2011. However, this proved to be short-lived. We booked on the Twycross website, with adult prices just shy of £27, and children's tickets costing £19.75 at the time of making this video, and this also includes free return visits for 12 months, which is really good value. The booking process is fairly straightforward. You will need to create an online account. In order to activate your free pass, you will also need to provide a photograph for every member of your party, to activate the free 12-month return visits. This can be done later on the account, once you've had your first initial visit. Once you have decided on a date for your visit, you will also need to choose a time slot. However, from here on in, it starts to get a little stressful, as once you've added your tickets to the basket you have only 5 minutes to fill in your details and complete checkout. This process is hampered by Twycross trying to sell you additional items. Upon arrival, we parked in the free car park, and it was a short walk to the main entrance. And it was a fairly quick process to pass through the ticket booths. Once inside, one of the first attractions you encounter is the Gruffalo Land. This is mainly aimed at younger visitors, and consists of a trail, with some static and animated characters. Children can also collect stamps, to earn a Gruffalo Ranger certificate.
Come and have tea in my treetop house.
It's frightfully nice of you, Owl, but no.
No.
I'm going to have tea with a Gruffalo?
Also incorporated into Gruffalo Land is a small area with a few snakes, a walk-through bird aviary, a goat walk-through, and butterfly paradise. However, we saw very few butterflies. The bird aviary was a little better, but was lacking in variety. You can also purchase bird food near the entrance. The walk-through goat enclosure contained a few well-behaved goats that tended to stay behind the roped-off areas and were reluctant to interact with the visitors. When we first arrived at the goat walkthrough, we were told by a member of staff that the goats had just been fed and had gone back to bed, so we had to revisit this attraction later in the day. And finally we headed to the Gruffalo Glade to watch the live entertainment show. Unfortunately, it was rather disappointing, and consisted of a brief introduction and one song, which was sung mostly out of tune, and with very little enthusiasm. The entire show lasted around 5 minutes.
I think I've got the perfect.
Amazing, guys. You're enjoying it as well, so I'll stand up if you want to.
Yeah, on your feet, everyone. We need to make sure we're correct. Stand
Okay, I think we'll leave it there. After leaving Gruffalo Land, we tried to visit the Gibbon Forest, but this attraction was closed. Despite several attempts to see the gibbons, the attraction remained closed for the entire day. We did manage to see the chimpanzees and the gorillas, but they seemed to be as bored as us. Mostly just sitting around, waiting for something exciting to happen. We made several return visits to try and catch a glimpse of the tiger and the rhino, but the tiger was nowhere to be seen. We got a glimpse of the rhinoceros, but only from a distance, as this was the closest we could get to it. But then, finally, the most exciting thing we had seen so far. Some action over in the tortoise enclosure. Joking aside, it's not all bad. The flamingo area was quite nice, even though the water looked like something from Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. The penguin enclosure was very good, as you could get really close to the birds. I was very tempted to pick up a penguin. If you prefer to bring your own picnic, there are tables in a few different locations, but you might have to wait around for one to become empty. We visited the giraffes, who also seemed to be keeping their distance. But luckily there were plenty of Lego animals around to save the day. At least it saved us a trip to Legoland. So overall, we were quite disappointed with our trip to Twycross. As mentioned earlier, I was last here in 2011, and it seems to have gone downhill since then. The camels, elephants, and the popular sea lion show have all gone, along with some other smaller animals. We spent around 40 minutes in the cafe, which overlooks the snow leopard enclosure, but there was no sign of any snow leopards. And it was overgrown with weeds, and the glass was dirty, with sticky finger marks, unlike when we visited in 2011. There was nothing here that really grabbed our attention. No parrot or bird shows, in fact no animal shows at all. There was a couple of talks, and we caught a little of the giraffe talk, but this was interrupted, so the staff member could answer a radio call. Before the end of the day, we soon became a bit bored, and was wandering around revisiting closed attractions, hoping they were now open, and returning to enclosures, hoping to catch a glimpse of some of the elusive animals. So, based on our recent visit to Twycross, I was going to award only 2 stars. However, the free return visits, for 12 months, gets them an extra star. Although, the thought of returning doesn't fill me with any excitement in the slightest. Anyway, that's it for this review. Thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing to my channel.